Okay, so welcome everybody to this last part, or maybe to the first part that you watch if you skipped all the rest. And this is just simply now the render comparsion. As you can see, we have here a scene which is called a Cornell box that was set up with a plastic material, metal material, and here we have a glass sphere that should also create some caustics. So all engines that I did test are actually have caustics activated, no matter what engine we had. And also there is a light that is coming from the top and it's blocked by a plane. And there is also a backlight. To make this scene a little bit more complicated, it's of course an interior scene, and I just simply tested how those renders perform after 2, 5 and 10 minutes. So the first engine that I want to start out is here Vray, and we will have a look here at the progressive render of Vray. This is, by the way, the newest version, 3.7. Which is pretty good. It's now managed by Chaos Group and not by Loud Lab anymore. And so yeah, this is everything is set to automatic actually. So we let Vray decide what kind of samples it's want to use and so on and so on. It should be pretty fast. So after 2 minutes we get this here. As you can see, a lot of noise over here still, a lot of noise here in the reflection, and as you can see here we get some anti-aliasing issues. This is probably because of the light. I think we have this in every single render engine because the light is just simply too overbright, probably has a value above 1 in 32 bits, and is probably causing some issues to calculate this spot correct. So this is why we're having here some anti-aliasing issues. As you can see here, down here, we also have a little bit of caustics going on, which I absolutely love. Wasn't really hard to do this with Vray, just a few clicks of a button and we got those caustics. So pretty good. And we also got some, I think, some caustics over here, but I'm not sure anymore with this test. This was progressive after 5 minutes. So as you can see, a lot cleaner. Definitely here cleaner, here on the floor cleaner. Here the plastic still has, as you can see, some noise going on. And also here we have a lot of noise going on, and this was it after 10 minutes. Definitely less noise, but still visible also here in the plastic. So I would say something between 15 to 20 minutes probably to let this clean up. Next test was Sear Render. Sear Render is a little bit different than all the others because with Sear Render it didn't support the 1200 by 1200 resolution that I, at least not the demo version, that I was testing all the other render engines with. So this is a little bit smaller, probably something 800 by 800 or something like that. But let's see, I actually did use the Presto MC engine. I did test all the other engines before in Sear. Presto MC was definitely the fastest one for me, because you can use GPU and CPU. And by the way, Vray, if you want to know, here was used the CPU, and you will find all the data, all my computer configuration you will see in the description to this video, so you know, okay, what CPU I did render this, and so on and so on. So Sear Render here did use my CPU and GPU, only one GPU, one CPU, and this is what we got after 2 minutes. So as you can see, still extremely noisy. Also here in the sphere you can see extreme noise, here in the back extreme noise. So after 5 minutes, this is what we got. A little bit less noise here, less noise over here, and after 10 minutes it looked already pretty good. Probably still needs 5 to 10 minutes more because there's still a lot of noise here and here. What I also don't like, honestly, is here the caustics. I don't really like it. Looks a little bit blurred out, not so accurate. This is probably because of the Presto MC engine. If you would go here with the TR1 engine, with the unbiased, completely unbiased one, well, engine is never completely unbiased, forget about that, but yeah, that's probably what sucks the most, I think. I don't really like that, to be honest. And also the resolution is not really fair compared to the others, but this is just the result that we got for this resolution. Okay, so the next one was Octane Render. Path tracing, first of all, in 2 minutes. As you can see, we get something like this. So as you can see, 1 minute and 56 seconds, please shoot me for that. Then here path tracing 5 minutes. You can see a little bit of less noise. As you can see, I do like the caustics actually. And this is what we get in path tracing mode after 10 minutes. Still a lot of noise here. The noise is a little bit more even contributed than here in Thea render, as you can see, because here we have extreme noise and here we have almost nothing. Here in Octane we have overall still a little bit of a noisy image, but I would say probably 15 to 20 minutes and this would be completely clean. So probably the same with Vray and Thea render. And then I did use the PMC mode, so Path Tracing Monte Carlo mode, where I thought maybe this would help in the shot a little bit, so this is why I tested it as well. Actually it was slower, of course, and as you can see, after 10 minutes we still have a lot of noise, so here I would even say 20 to 25 minutes to let this clean up completely, which is, I think, a little bit too long, even with my slow GPU card. Octane is completely GPU based, you can only throw some textures into the CPU RAM or into the normal RAM and not in the graphic card RAM and stuff like that, but it definitely renders only on Nvidia cards. Then we have Maxwell, still my absolutely most loved engine, but it's still the slowest engine that is out there. It's actually uses Metropolis light transport bidirectional path tracing, which is a little bit slow, but as you can see, the noise gets distributed extremely even. The caustics show right away after 2 minutes. This is what we get after 5 minutes, and this is what we get after 10 minutes. So with Maxwell, I would say something between 20 to 30 minutes to let this clean up, which is, I think, still way too long. You get awesome results with Maxwell, but if you don't have, like, I don't know, a lot of CPUs standing around, Maxwell is still not the engine to go. Even the GPU rendering that they did implement lately, like 1 or 2 years ago, is not, as we would say it in German, the yellow from the egg either, because it's really slow. It does not support a lot of rate depth, and you only can use one card, and so on and so on. So I hope they will fix this in the future and also still work here on this. By the way, no denoising was used in any of the render engines, just to make it a little bit of a fair comparison, a more fair comparison, because every denoiser is working a little bit differently, and some have maybe a little bit more better algorithms than others. So I just simply left out the denoiser in every single render engine. So let's go on to Indigo. This was with the OpenGL mode, so I did let it render on my CPU and on my GPU. And as you can see, this is the result that we get after 2 minutes. Still extremely noisy here in the plastic, and also noisy here and noisy here. This is what we get after 5 minutes. You can still see the noise here. Also don't like the caustics so much. And here's what we get after 10 minutes. Looks kind of clean, but there's still a lot of noise going on actually, so I would say 15 minutes might be here okay in the OpenGL mode. So Indigo was actually pretty good in the OpenGL mode. I did like that. Was absolutely okay. The good thing about Indigo is that you are not you don't need to use Nvidia cards. You can also use ATI cards, which is pretty nice, of course. If you have one and you don't want to buy Nvidia, then Indigo is maybe the engine to go. So, and this was then rendered just because I wanted to try it out with the Metropolis light transport bidirectional mode, because this is, to be honest, a bidirectional scene where bidirectional should definitely shine, bidirectional path tracing, because the rays get emitted from the light and from the camera and then search each other to calculate the scene a little bit quicker. But as you can see, after 2 minutes, this is what we get. We also get some hot fireflies here, which is not really nice. This is what we get after 5 minutes. Still a lot of fireflies, and this is what we get after 10 minutes. And I think Indigo would not be able to get rid of these fireflies completely. Maybe it would, but it would probably render like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe 1 hour, something like that, to get rid completely of those fireflies. So this was definitely not a good mode. Everything else looks pretty noise-free. Maybe 5 minutes more to get the rest, but the fireflies are still there. And this is definitely not acceptable, to be honest. Okay, so Corona, actually the most surprising engine ever. Fucking awesome, I need to say. I really need to say the word fucking. Corona was so pretty fast out of the box. It produces absolutely superb caustics, I think. I mean, superb might not be the right word, but absolutely good caustics. This was the render after 2 minutes, was extremely noise free already. I mean, here you have a little bit of noise. This was the render after 5 minutes in UHD mode, secondary mode. As you can see, almost there is no noise anymore. Even this looks almost completely clean. And this was it after 10 minutes. There's not much of a difference to the 5 minutes because it was almost completely clean after 5 minutes. And the thing is, Corona still comes for free. So it's still an alpha and beta stage for Cinema 4D. So you can still get it for free. This engine did absolutely amaze me with the render speed and also the quality that it did put out. This is freaking awesome. And so yeah, so I think if I have to choose for a new client, that I will probably drop Octane for Corona render. Even though I have paid for Octane, I think Corona still amazes me just simply a lot, because this is so fucking clean. And this after 5 minutes already, and also with those caustics going on and stuff like that. So this was really amazing, I need to say. And then we have a little bit of a other comparison. Here we have now 3 different shots from 3 different engines, because this was all bucket rendered. This was Arnold. Arnold, I really need to say, but you also need to keep in mind or bear in mind that Arnold is not really designed for the single freelancer. As you can see, first of all, we don't see a light, because if you're using area lights, normal area lights, there is no make it visible button in Arnold, so we just simply cannot see the light. We can only see the reflection of the light. And this was the render after 24 minutes, and that it really spent a lot of time to optimize this scene, look into the manual, how you can optimize it, did render out AOVs to see, okay, where's the noise coming from, optimized the diffuse samples, the AA samples, the specular samples, and so on and so on. So it's still noisy after 24 minutes. I would still need to go higher with the diffuse samples and with the AA samples probably to make this completely clean. As you can see, we get here a little bit of caustics here inside of Arnold. Even though Arnold doesn't really like caustics at all, at least not hard caustics, which also sucks a little bit. But Arnold is just simply a really big production render for big studios, where they can push through a lot of geometry. Most of the studios write their own BRDF shaders to make it a little bit more bidirectional, also program Arnold a little bit differently to compute difficult scenes a little bit better, and so on and so on. So Arnold is just simply a really good engine if you have a big department that can program, that can do a lot of stuff to it, that can just simply fix some stuff for what you need exactly, and can still push through many lights and a lot of geometry, which probably a lot of other engines can't do. So this is just the power of Arnold actually. So then we have Redshift. Redshift, of course. Oh my god. Redshift got hyped so much by so many people. I don't know. Probably they are all in heroin or just simply paid by Redshift. I have no clue. I have really no clue. Redshift, don't get me wrong, is definitely a good engine. It's biased, it's GPU based, which makes it fast as hell. And as you can see, this has finished in 1 minute and 48 seconds. But the thing is, I just simply couldn't get the caustics to work. So they are activated, they are accurate. I played with the settings for a really long while to get this working. There absolutely nothing happened. But the quality is pretty good. It's noise free, it's good. We have enough tracing depth to see this cube here. Because tracing depth was also important, so we can still see the reflection, what this cube is reflecting in here. Let me show you this. Maybe you can see this in the Vray render the best. I'm not sure. Let me go up there. No, not really. Forget about it. Okay, anyway. Let me just scroll back down to Redshift. So here we go. Yeah, Redshift is pretty good for what it's doing. Really depending on the project that you're on, Redshift can help you a lot. It has a lot of settings because it's biased, so you can control a shitload of things, of course, to speed up the render, to make it look better, and so on and so on. But it's for sure not the most accurate engine ever, but this is not what Redshift was really designed for. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would still choose Corona over Redshift because it's completely accurate, it's extremely good, it's extremely fast, and it's CPU based, which means you don't need a graphic card or something like that, you only need a PC. The thing is, of course, GPU will always outperform CPU probably, but if you're having a really, really big scene that cannot fit in Redshift anymore, then I would definitely jump to Corona probably, because you will always depend on the RAM that you have on your graphic card. So yeah, but there are a lot of freaks out there with 4 to 8 to 16 cards, so to what do I know? And of course, this would then render so fucking freaking fast that I do understand a lot of people that do using Redshift for production nowadays. For me, I think it's just not simply not the right engine. And here we have at last Vray bucket. So this was just simply Vray bucket render with caustics in 7 minutes and 53 seconds. This was finished. We have a little bit of noise here still. I probably would need to play with the samples a little bit more, maybe GI samples, or yeah, probably GI samples here, I guess, to make this look a little bit better. But overall, I like it. With 8 minutes, the bucket renderer is still viable and still good. Really depending on the scene, if you want to use progressive or if you want to still use the bucket mode. Really depending on the scene. So yeah, the conclusion of this, what is the best render engine? I mean, for me, it was clear that there is no real answer to that even before I did this tutorial, because it's really depending on which scene you're working, how many lights you have, how much geometry do you have, what you want to achieve, and so on and so on. So it's really hard to tell. I would say for a normal freelancer right now, Redshift, if you want to go GPU based and biased, if you want to go full realistic and absolutely have an awesome speed and be good and pay absolutely nothing for a graphic card and the render engine itself, I would definitely recommend highest that you go with Corona render. After that, I would say, I don't know, Indigo amazed me only in the OpenGL mode, to be honest. I think this could be a really fast engine if you're looking for something unbiased that is working on the GPU. I think that's pretty good. I think I would even take it maybe over Octane right now. I don't know, Octane is one of the engines I really paid for, and it disappointed me really much, I need to say. It was really slow. Maxwell still has some work to do. They are just simply so behind in rendering speed actually, which is kind of bad. Of course, the other engines, probably maybe Maxwell is a little bit more unbiased as all the others, or just simply runs better algorithms or more accurate algorithms as all the other engines. But the computing time is still probably way too slow, so they definitely have to work on their code a little bit more, I think. And yeah, like I said, Octane really disappointed me a little bit, I need to say. Past tracing after 10 minutes, still that noisy, is not really that what I did expect from Octane. That's not really what I like. And yeah, Thea render was okay, I would say. I don't like the caustics here in the Presto mode. Presto mode was really the fastest one. All with the other modes, I got fireflies, I got other different issues. So I think Thea render is something that I would leave out for now. And yeah, Vray is still an absolute reliable engine where you can do a lot of stuff. A lot of development has got into it, of course. And I think it's really good, I need to say. It's really good, still reliable. I also did another test here with Vray that I want to show you quickly with the bucket. This, by the way, took 1 hour and 42 minutes to render this out. This was another test where I thought, okay, maybe I try this test with all the other engines as well. But in the end, I was a little bit too lazy to set up all the volumetrics for all the other engines, the caustics to make them work correctly, and all the other stuff. So I just thought, okay, let's try it with Vray once, and maybe then I want to go further. But this was rendered with Vray, and as you can see, looks pretty nice. But I don't know what happened to this sphere actually. This should be a really round sphere. This might be because of the water actually, that it gets some deformation like this. So yeah. But I'm not sure if this is accurate, but you can see here the light rays, you can see here the caustics, how they're reflecting caustics here on the wall, here on the floor. There we have this little standard puppy from Cinema 4D that probably died in this scene, which I'm really sorry for. And yeah, we have some glass spheres going on, also a glass sphere to look through. So there's a lot of computing going on. We have environment fog going on and caustics, and the only thing that is really missing maybe might be motion blur and a DOF or something like that, but I think it was hard enough to calculate that. As you can see, there's still a little bit of noise. I should have given it a little bit more samples for the fog actually, for the volumetrics here. But yeah, it was okay. So yeah, Vray is definitely absolutely reliable, definitely an engine you can rely on. Now that it is at Chaos Group, it probably gets a little bit of faster developing than before. I think Stefan at LabLab did a good job for years. I did talk to him, he just simply said he has enough of this, or it was just simply the best point to give it back to Chaos Group because he wants to focus on other things in his life now, which is absolutely fine. So Chaos Group is developing this now, so if you're looking for a really, really reliable engine, Vray is definitely still the way to go and definitely faster as Arnold and can do a lot of stuff. And I'm only talking for the normal freelancer, so if you're one-man show or something like that, then I think I would stick definitely to Vray over Arnold, to be honest. Yeah, like I said, for if you're looking for unbiased engine right now, that is pretty good and can produce fast results and has a lot of nice modes and also Metropolis light transport and some other modes and stuff like that, I would definitely go with Indigo render nowadays. And for all the other stuff that is biased, where you want to be super fast and stuff like that, and you want to work only on the GPU, I would go with Redshift. And my go-to engine that is CPU based will definitely be Corona in the future, for no matter what I will be doing, no matter if I'm doing animations for a company or whatever, because Corona amazed me so fucking much. I cannot even tell you how much, because after 5 minutes to get this completely clean, almost completely clean, with those caustics going on and stuff like that, this really amazed me. And after 10 minutes this was like super clean and super accurate, I think. I don't know who the guy really is that is programming this code and this algorithm for this render engine, but he definitely needs an Oscar and also a blowjob, because this is absolutely amazing. Okay, so whatsoever, that was it for my render comparison. I hope it helped you a little bit to decide. Of course, it's always up to you what you want to use, and also will depend on the scene that you are using. This is just one sample scene that I decided to use. Of course, every render engine will work in some certain area a little bit better, in a other certain area a little bit more badly. Let's say it like that. I will give you all the data that you need, all that my computer configuration, so you know what I used for this test and why those render times took so long or not so long or whatsoever. And I will also give you this PDF to download, so you can compare those engines a little bit more on your own and a little bit more into depth. I will also give you all the scene files that you have, so you can also test all the stuff on your own if you want to, and do the exact same things and even a little bit more. Because there is still some stuff hidden that I didn't even show, to be honest, so you can activate some more stuff in those scenes and play around with it, and yeah, what do I know. So I hope this comparison was a little bit helpful, and yeah, I think I'll catch you soon with probably a hair tutorial or something like that. Maybe make another render comparison with a little bit of a different scene or something like that. I don't know what will be next, what I'm coming up with. But it will definitely be amazing. Hopefully it will be amazing. Okay, so I wish you all a happy new year, and yeah, thanks for listening as usual. Catch you soon. Bye bye.